So Walk Cook Walk, episode 15. Now, I did miss 1 week out because I went away with the kids. We went camping. Met some really cool people. So shout out to Gaz and family if you're watching this, dude. It was really great to meet y'all and have some fun times at the campfire and playing badminton. Memories, mate, absolute memories. But yeah, shout out to you and your family, dude. It was a brilliant time. Unfortunately, there was no Wi-Fi on the... So I say unfortunately, but it was actually fortunate because, you know, you had to make your own fun. We were playing football, like I say, playing badminton, trying to get these hoops onto a pole and all that jazz. All good stuff, you know. Kids spend a lot of time at the night just charging around, playing some game where they hide in the dark and basically hide and seek in the dark. But yeah, it was great fun, man. Roaring fires and, you know, good company. Anywho, so there would have been another video uploaded about that time, but I didn't get around to recording it. I set my tarp up because I knew I was going to get some rain, and I was going to record it on the Saturday. And Gaz and Co left on the Friday, I believe, if I remember rightly. And yeah, so I never got round to doing it because we went for a walk and we came back after being at this nature reserve, got absolutely soaked. We was hiding under a tree for a certain period of time, and got back and the campsite was absolutely chock-a-block with people. Now there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 tents, big ass bell tent things, glamping where the beds are already set up. I needed electricity, needed a refrigerator for my daughter's diabetes insulin. So that was a necessity when camping. And yeah, it was great fun. But yeah, there's only 10 big tents at a place called Home Pier Point, which is in Nottingham. It's by the National Water Sports Centre. It's called Bell Tent Village. Absolutely brilliant. And it turns out I actually worked with the guy who designs and builds the tents. So that was random meeting him again. So shout out to Levi if he's watching. And yeah, it was all around great fun, but I didn't get to upload because I had to take the tarp down because there was just too many people, and that's not what this is all about. This is escaping the maddening crowd, not adding to it. Bad news, really. The place that I named 11 Oaks, which is just over in that direction, has now got markers put out where they're going to start digging. They've already started digging in the other field. So I'm tempted to go there now because I'm not sure I'll be able to go there again while they're digging and stuff like that. But I wasn't there that long ago, and I don't like reusing the same places too often. I want to do them in like a cycle. So and maybe try and find some new places as well, but with limitations of being in walking distance. I mean, you can see over there now they've started the digging. They've got a digger over there. Should probably go and have a look, can't we really? Let's see what they're doing. They've got markers all over the place. There's no one on site at the moment, but I assume eventually they're going to be putting fences up to stop people getting in. So if you remember from one of the older videos, I kind of saved a grill, whatever you want to call it, a grill, yeah, to use at a later date. I also put those 2 chess pieces in the oak tree. So a bit of a thank you back to the woodland. I mean, it's only a small snippet of woods. Have a look what they're doing here. It looks like they're going to be starting foundation work. Now, I know nothing about building or anything like that, but they've definitely started digging stuff out, as you can see. dug a bit out there, and they've done the same to a couple of other areas. Now, soil around here is really clayey. When it gets wet, it gets very, very slippery. Backpack weight, 12.4 kilograms before I put the beer and the glass in. Now, I'm only bringing one beer with me today because it's homebrew and it's quite strong. It's 6%. So I'm assuming that all these little things here are all going to be the same. Yeah, they're just taking probably about 2 foot down, maybe more. Yeah, about 2 foot, I expect. Wouldn't understand why these are like this, but yeah, I'm in a trench. But yeah, just being nosy really. I want to see what they're bloody doing. I mean, it is gutting. I've lived around here all my life. So the fields over in that direction, over there that you can see up in this top corner here, that's where, you know, we was in there every single day, building dens, you know, that kind of thing. Just building dens, having fun, climbing trees, all that good stuff, playing what we used to call tracker. Now I'm sure every other area of the country has got a different name for it. It's basically tag or dobby or tig, but it's one where you've got a massive amount of room as to where you can actually go. You know, the boundaries were a lot bigger. Now I am hoping that they do keep all these trees here because they are oaks and they're really mature, especially at the 11 oaks. I'll be mighty pissed off if they do end up cutting them down, but the land's been bought, so it's theirs to do what they want with. You know, it is a shame. I've just done a little bit of a round trip and then didn't even go in the woods to get the grill thing, but like I say, that's stashed. I'm gonna get it, I just can't carry it at the moment. My bag's even heavier than last week simply because I've got something extra with me. You've probably guessed by now if you've seen the title, but I've bought myself a Trangia 27, which is the smaller version. Now, I didn't realize that I had the large version. I thought I had the small one originally, but no, the 25 is the large version, 27 is the small version. Now, I picked it up for about £38, which is significantly less than what you can buy them for brand new. They look a little bit beaten up, but I'm not bothered about that. I brought that with me just to try and show you the difference in size. So the 25, which I normally use, which you'd see me use on every video, the 25 is apparently for 4 people to cook. Like, I'm not sure whether they're like 4 hobbits or something, but because damn, you know, when I cook one of them plates, I'm like, I can eat the whole thing. Am I eating excessively? Maybe so, but lugging this 12 kilogram bag around is going to make it a bit easier to shed some of the weight from my belly. Which, you know, it's always a thing. When I was on holiday, wasn't too bothered. I was eating bacon and egg sarnies every day, having a couple of beers every evening, and, you know, just living the life. I came back, weigh myself on the 1st of every month, just for shits and giggles really, just to see if what I'm doing is working. And yeah, I'd lost 1.3 pounds, whatever that is in kilograms, I'm not sure. It's probably about a kilogram, in all honesty. Not sure, but let's get this microphone on anyway. Hopefully we are connected. I've got green lights, so I'm assuming so. Today we're cooking a jambalaya, which is Caribbean, Cajun, and influenced by a couple of other countries. I'll read the notes on the recipe when we get started, but yeah, like a Louisiana style one pot meal. I used to have it as a ready meal, so I'm really excited for this. Just thinking about it's making my mouth water. It's got a mixture of prawns, veg, rice and chicken. And anyway, I'm just going to be crossing over this road, so I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, busy road that, so really had to pay attention. You've probably seen me walk down this bit before. It's where we've got the fences on both sides. So I forgot to mention a minute ago, I bought the other Trangia with me because, pardon me, I felt like I swallowed a fly then. Simply because I wanted to just compare them. Yeah, it's another 900 grams, but you know what? I've got quite strong shoulders. I'm not going extremely far, so I'm sure we'll be all right. But what I am going to do is I'm going to modify the Trangia ever so slightly. I'm not drilling holes in yet or anything like that, but that's not to say that I won't. Now, there's a guy on YouTube that I stumbled across called, oh, bloody hell, I'm sure he's a Canadian chap, maybe called New to Wild Camping. I'm going to have to go check now, one sec. Shout out to New to Wild Camping for the videos that he's posted quite a while ago, actually. I'm surprised that I've not come across them yet. About modifying, or yeah, let's say modifying, although we're not changing anything per se. We're adding a couple of things to it that's going to try and possibly control the heat so that there's not so much of a hot spot in the center. Because with the Trangia, you get the flame in the center. It's always in the center. It's always there. You know, it's just on all the flipping time. And it does get rather hot. So he's come up with a couple of ways to sort of like, what would you say? Yeah, modify the way it goes. Like one of them, he put in some wire wool inside the actual well where the fuel source goes. So we're going to give that a go. I've put some wire wool in both of them. I want to see whether it allows the flame to stay a little bit steadier instead of being so, you know, hands-on and too much flame. Because last weekend, or last video, my frying pan actually caught fire. So kind of need to be a little bit careful with it, you know. So yeah, he's also like a hot plate kind of thing he's placed further down. Now I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently. I haven't got a steel plate, I've got an aluminium one, so I'm kind of hoping it's going to work to a degree, but mine's going to be raised up higher than where his was, simply because that's the only way I could figure of doing it with the size piece of thing that I'd found in the shed, which was actually for like some other cook set, which I was gifted by a friend, which I'm going to be taking to the allotment and using on there eventually. So yeah, you know, we're going to plod on for a little bit, head to this little spot where I'm going to be setting up, and we're going to cook a jambalaya. So we're nearly at the spot where I am going to be cooking, but oops, let's break the equipment. I just wanted to come and have a quick scout out up here. Used to ride through here years ago. This was all really overgrown, but it looks like they've kind of flattened it a bit. Sort that angle out. That's a bit better, isn't it? Now you can see what I'm on about. And I just wanted to see if it's suitable at all for cooking in, and whether there's like a majorly trodden path, because I don't want to set up if there's going to be loads of dog walkers coming through. Now it does look like there's an area that they've chopped a tree down there that would make a nice little seat. But let's go and continue to look on, because I'm passing it anyway, so even if I don't use it today, it'll be a good thing to know what's popping, whether we can get in, whether it's suitable or not. Nice little open area there. I'm already seeing a couple of places that I could, which is always good. Now I can hear people, so not quite sure what's going on. Bit random, but there you go, that's life. Hello, you're right. So yeah, it's a bit of a no for this area, but someone's just come out of their back gate into the little bit of woodland here, so it's still clearly still used by people. And like I say, we used to ride around it, around the track and dodge the trees and stuff like that. Now a lot of these are hawthorn, so they're extremely spiky, but you know, it's all good fun when you're out mountain biking. So yeah, we can't be in here, not with kids charging around and causing havoc, but we will go down to the other spot. I mean, so it just so happens that they were coming out of their back gate just as I was coming around the corner. So, you know, any other day there may not be people in here, but there is quite a few tracks leading to people's gates. So they're all very well trodden as well, so they're definitely used. So, I mean, the place where we are going, it's kind of tucked out of the way, but I'm visible. So, you know, it's one of those that it's not 100% out of the way, so to speak. But there's a nice little hawthorn that I sat under last time, which I didn't actually, well, I recorded it, but I didn't upload it. It was before I'd started the channel, because I just went out and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go cook some flipping food outside on my own. And then the channel was born. It was actually a subscriber and someone I've known for, well, let's say we're internet friends. I've never actually met him. Mr. Magoo, he's a subscriber. It was actually his idea to start a channel for it, and I was like, you know what, it's actually a bloody good idea. I was like, I've already got a YouTube channel, hashtag fermented world. I love promoting my own channel on my own channel. That's my homebrew channel, if you want to go check that out. I brew cider, mead, beer, you name it. I share all my recipes for free. There's never ever going to be a time where I charge for my content. Everyone gets it. There'll be no members things. So yeah, my arm's beginning to hurt a little bit holding this bloody stick, but we're just passing through. How you doing? All right? We're just going to head towards what we call the Toten Sidings, and I'm going to drop down the bank ever so slightly, and we're going to set up to cook this jambalaya. Now, this bag's heavy. Obviously, I've got my table, which is just going to make things that little bit more comfortable. And we could possibly get a bit of noise. We do get a bit of traffic up here from trains, walkers, dog walkers, etc. And train spotters as well, because there's like a train yard at the back. Hopefully with the microphone though, it won't really pick that much up, but we're nearly there. And we are 1.7 miles in. So again, not really that far away. But I would like to investigate in here as well to see how far down you can get through and whether it's any good for another time. Now it is in between two paths, but there's a nice open space here. Do I want to deal with people? No, I don't. I don't want to deal with people. I mean, I'm as nice as pie, you know. I'll talk to absolutely anybody. But the idea of this is like an escape from the maddening world, you know. So can't exactly remember where it was where I dropped down last time, but the bank's quite steep, so I do have to go a bit further down and then come back on myself to a certain point, which might be, I think it's a little bit further down than there, but there's the train yard anyway. As I was saying, you might hear a bit of noise from that while we're cooking, but it'll be all right. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to get down the bank. Back in a minute. So like I say, you get a lot of train spotters at the top of the hill, ticking off the trains that are over and in the dockyard there. I should have probably asked him what the actual dockyard's for. I believe it's some sort of maintenance. Should be able to drop down soon with a bit of luck, but it's still looking pretty steep. Do you reckon we can get down there safely? Let's give it a go. One slip and I'm going down very quickly. That's for sure. Actually a lot steeper than it looks. Just really don't want to fall. Oh, here we are. Look. There we go. Right, so now we follow this kind of track thing, which has got extremely overgrown from last time I was here, which isn't a bad thing. It just means no one's going to be bothering me. Obviously there's always the visibility from up there, but at the same time, I mean, look, someone's left a flipping vodka bottle there. We'll have that when we come back. How's it going, guys? All right? Yeah, not too bad. Just going to go cook some grub in the woods. Jambalaya. It's going to be great. You're welcome to if you want. There'll be plenty for everyone. So with his lad taking pictures of the trains that they're seeing. I'm not sure how train spotting works, but they kind of have a book or something like that and they tick them off as and when they've seen them. I'm not sure. Whatever floats your boat is what I say. If it makes you happy, crack on. You're not hurting anyone, crack on. You know, some people like that. Can't fault them at all. I like cooking food in the woods. Even though this isn't technically woodland, it's just a bit of like a grassland area, if you want to call it that. But there's plenty of wildlife around. Dragonflies and stuff. We'll see if I can get him. And obviously the majestic trolley in its natural habitat. Looks a bit done for, this one. More glass bottles. We'll take that out with us as well. Oh, there's a few of them. And somebody's doggy has come to say hello. Straight back up the hill. More rubbish. McDonald's wrappers. It does look a bit different to what it did last time. And I'm wondering, maybe I've come up a bit too far. I think that there is the hawthorn in question. I think it is. But we're going to set up round about here because it gives us a bit more privacy. Here we are. I did it just down there last time, but it does seem extremely overgrown. I was nestled just underneath that hawthorn tree, and I actually used the flowers as a bit of a garnish for the thing I was cooking. I didn't record that one. But this is us for the next couple of hours. I'm going to get set up and get some food on. Crack a beer. Okie dokie. It's not the exact spot, but the reason I picked this because I know that that part's blocked off. So anyone who's going to be coming is going to be coming from that direction. And we shouldn't have a problem anyway. Can't see there being a problem. Yeah, so I'm going to be cooking a jambalaya. Now, this isn't a jambalaya that I've prepared myself. This is something called Simply Cook. I'm not sponsored by them yet. And this is just a free, what's the word? Like a free trial. You just have to cover the postage. Now, I'm going to share a link in the comments or description that where you can get a free pack from. And if you use my link, I then get another free pack through the door. It comes through the door. It's like flat packs like that. You get 4 different recipes that you choose yourself each month or every 2 months, depending on how long you want to have them for. It gives you a little tear off thing that you can tear off and take shopping with you with your ingredients that you're going to need. I did destroy this packet. I tried to open it gracefully and I started getting frustrated, so I just went absolute Hulk mode on it and just pulled it to pieces basically. It comes in like 3 different types of flavorings or seasonings as it goes. So here's how you rock with this. It says cook the chicken and the prawns. Coat the chicken and the prawns using the Cajun seasoning. Fry the chicken in a pan until cooked and golden. Then remove and set aside. Repeat with the prawns. Then you add your chorizo to the same pan and fry for 2 minutes. Add garlic paste, onion, pepper, celery. Cook for 3 to 4 minutes. Add the rice. Add rice, 400 ml water of boiling water and the jambalaya stock to the pan. Stir, bring to the boil, then reduce the heat and cook on a low to medium and cover with a lid. Now, the low to medium might be what we struggle with, which is also why I'm going to be trying to modify the Trangia so that the heat disperses better instead of it all being in the center. Now, it is a little bit windier than it was earlier on, but that doesn't really matter too much. You know, we can deal with that. We've got a storm stove, for Christ's sake. You know, there's not a lot you're going to be able to do against that. So add the rice, bring to the thing, finishing touches. You can add spring onions, and if it's too spicy, add a bit of lemon. Now, I'm going to add a bit of lemon anyway because I like lemon in food. And I think, remembering what a jambalaya tastes like years ago, I really think a bit of lemon on there would marry pretty damn well. So I'm going to put that somewhere where I can see it so that I can keep paying attention to what it is. But I expect this to be really, really easy. Now, I can cook from scratch pretty much anything. As long as I've got a recipe and an idea of what I'm putting in it, it's pretty much golden. This beer I brewed myself. It's called a saison, which means season in French. And it's lovely. It's about 6%, which is why I've only got the one. And I'm going to put that out of my way so that I don't drink it all before we've even started cooking. So here we have the comparison I'm going to do before I start cooking. Now, I don't plan to use the Trangia 27 today. As you can see, it's really old. It's very, very beaten up. I haven't even cleaned it. As I said, I'm not going to be using it today, or I don't plan to. But that's the difference between them, the size. And there's probably about, I can't even remember now, but there's minimal weight difference. All you're really saving on is the size. So if you've got a small backpack, which I don't, you could possibly get away with carrying this. Now, carrying all of it is overkill if you're not going to need all of it. Obviously, you're going to need one pan at least, whether it be the fry pan, the pot pan, or whatever. But let's just do the quick comparison now before we start the cook video, because that was the purpose of buying the second one. It was cheap. It was about the price I was happy to pay. But I'm going to be realistic. I don't think I could cook. So I've essentially been cooking on something that's for 4 and then nearly eating all of it myself. I mean, I like big portions, don't get me wrong. But there's not a great deal of difference in weight. So the fry pan, for starters, you see, one makes a bit of a different noise. One's clearly bigger than the other. Now that says it's for 2. I don't know what 2 of it's going to be cooking for. Hobbits, maybe. I've already used that joke, haven't I? So this is exactly the same. The grabber. quickly hide that because that's a part of the thing that we're going to be doing in a bit when we modify this ever so slightly. The kettle looks different. It's slightly smaller, got a bit of a different shape to it. It's a lot smaller actually. Didn't realise how smaller that was. Like I say, this one is really beat up, but it will still work. You know, it's still going to cook exactly the same as what the other one will. And once it's cleaned up, it'll be dandy. And yeah, it's got the oil burner, which is exactly the same as the other one. There's no change in the oil burner. I'm assuming the weight's the same. I did do some weight comparisons, but I'm really not bothered about it. I'm not a weight weenie. I don't go ultralight backpacking or like that at the moment. So I can afford to just carry it on my shoulders for, how long was it? 2.17 miles, which reminds me to pause that. Save battery and all that jazz. But yeah, so that's the kettles. Let's move them out of the road. Let's get the first pan out. As you can see, so they've got markings on them, little dents with a number on. So that's your 0.3 milliliters. And then you got half a litre. This one starts at half a litre and then it goes to 1 litre. So it's got the little nodules in there to tell you roughly how much you're putting in. But as you can see, there is quite a difference in them. Now for me, I personally... I lost my microphone. Right, so let's not do that again. As funny as it was, I'm sure. For me personally, I'd rather have more space than less space. Need to make sure that that doesn't go walkies. We need the instructions. Although with the Simply Cook, you can download the app as well. I was having a look at it before it came out. It looked pretty sweet, to be honest. They've got like an app that's got like all the recipes built in. It tags what you've purchased, so it shows you in a list of what ingredients you do. Once you've got your ingredients, you click that. It says, then it drops down and it shows you the method and stuff like that. So that's that pan. Then moving on to the bigger pan of both. Obviously, there is a massive difference in these. You know, definitely is. I didn't clean that very well, did I? Got some smeg left on it from when I went camping the other day. Because I was using this to boil water because there was a kettle because there was electricity in the tent. But I was just like, nah, I'd rather just do it like this. So that's that. The bigger pans, which can go on top of each other like so. We're not mixing stuff up. And obviously your windshield's smaller. Again, more packable, but personally, I'd prefer the larger volume of capacity to be able to cook. Like the chap over there said, he says, I think I'll join you when I was telling him what I was cooking. I was like, mate, you're more than welcome to. There'll be enough for everybody. It says it's a 2-person serving, but I think I'm going to eat all of it because I'm hungry. But yeah, there you go. That's the difference between the 25, which is this one, and the 27, which is this one. I do plan on getting some of the other stuff as well. I've become a bit of a Trangia nerd. I'm not going to lie. I like the idea of the Trangia Mini. I've seen people cooking on that. That looks pretty decent as well. And the triangle and also the mess tins are all something that I'm going to look into. I don't think you need anything else. I think once you've got one of these, you'll never need another cooking system. But there you go. That's them. That sits in there like so. That clamps that down. Now, I don't know if you can hear that. I was hoping that this would dull out that noise. And if it does, that's good because it means I'll be able to take you to another place where there was quite a bit of noise. over by a road, but the woodland was well cool. Right, so let's put the old one away. Now I did try and find out how old this was, but the guy I messaged after I'd purchased it, he hasn't got back to me. So that'd be that. Simple as. Which, you know, just want the information as to if he knows how old it was, what year it was purchased, etc. I mean, it doesn't seem to be one of the vintage ones, because the vintage ones, they don't clip in like these. So that you can twist it in, and your windbreak and your stand all stay together. And I've just thought as well, I need to do this on the ground to be able to use my modification. Or do I? Well, I suppose we better break out the modification, because the plan is to use it. And the modification is tent pegs and this piece of aluminium, which has got loads of holes in. So the theory is, going back to the YouTuber called New to Wild Camping, he uses some sort of plate like this, but his is further down, and his uses these things, which then means you can't use anything else for them. So I thought about it after watching both of his videos, and I thought, you know what, if I could just put some tent pegs in there like so, it'd create an area where I could stand something on it. Now they're all going to fall over. We are going to have to do this on the ground. Damn it, I didn't want to. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So we're going to need to push these into the ground. Need to stabilize that a bit with a stick, or a half piece of a stick. Oh, that was meant to be. That was absolutely meant to be. So we're going to drive these into the ground through these little holes at the bottom here. And then what this is going to do is create a little platform for the plate to sit on, which then should allow us, in theory, to rest something on top of it, which is then going to disperse the flames ever so slightly. That is the theory anyway, and we'll see how well it works, or if it works at all. So that's the plan. The plan is to pop that on there. The heat should come through it, and then come through the holes, the 3 holes, and then the holes around it, in theory. That is the theory. I think that needs propping up a bit there. I think it's there. I think that's the sweet spot, like that. Again, this might not work. It's just theory. I just got the idea of using this when I spotted it in the shed looking for wire wool. So yeah, the wire wool, he said, it sort of dampens the flame a bit, gives you a bit more better control, which is, you know, perfect really. It's exactly what we want in the grand scheme of things, because of that hot spot is a pain in the backside. Now you work around it until somebody has a bright idea, like this guy who developed this plate, or he saw it somewhere and then he's done something like it himself, which I thought was pretty cool. I love that stuff. Like, you know, if something breaks or it's not working properly, you kind of just modify it and off you go. So yeah, we've got some wire wool in there, just like that, and we're going to put some fuel in. I do need to get one of them proper things, don't I? I think that's plenty. I should put the fuel behind me. We don't want to leave anything to chance. As you saw from the last video, I am prone to setting fire to things. And we don't want to do that. We definitely don't want to do that. So, stove thing's going down there. It's a shame I can't do it on there. So now I've got to come up with another plan, haven't I? So to speak. I tell you what, I bet the gears are working now, you see. The brains are pondering. Can I use the fry pan from this to create the stand for that? Is it big enough? Oh, the fry pan doesn't go in just. Does it go in that way? I'm going to take the fuel out before we spill it. I'll take all these back out. And we'll try again. You can but try these things, you know. Okay, we've done it. Table's back on, I think. Let me see if these stand up properly on there. No, they don't. They fall over. Okay, we tried and we failed. Let's put them back in the ground. Oh, it's all fun and games. But you see, in theory, it worked. So, you know, you got to give it a go, ain't you? I think you're daft if you don't give it a go. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Give it roughly a couple of distance. Probably have that one on further out. Sorry, I'm just jabbering on, aren't I? Just wasting your time now. But if we can make it work better, you know, then we're on to an absolute winner. Problem is these pegs are rusty as, and they're very hard to see. So I'm going to keep the silver one out, which I'm going to use to hook these out with if for whatever reason I need to take this out. Yeah, they're very rusty, so they're very hard to see when they're on the ground. That can go around there a little bit more. Just try and space them out evenly. It's not going to matter too much. Oops. Just try and get them about the same height. And like I say, that's going to pop over the top like that. And hopefully create a bit of a spread. Maybe not, who knows, it might not work at all. Anywho, let's get this sparked up. Why isn't that lighting? There we go. It took a bit of going, but we got there in the end. Put the spoon away. Quite a sharp spoon, got to be careful. We've got a simmer ring ready. I'm going to have it on ever so slightly turned down, and I just want to see how it actually works. The heat's on. It's going to take a minute or two for it to get its heat properly up, which is a perfect time to have a sip of beer. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah, that's kicking out some nice heat now. So let's pop that over the top like so, and get the fry pan, put it on, get some oil on there, and we'll start cooking this jambalaya. There's a couple of people interested in what I'm doing. Can't fault them. I'm a pretty interesting guy. So a little bit of oil on there, and we'll see how this bad boy goes. So let's have a look at the instructions again. Cooked chicken and prawns. So my chicken and prawns are in two different things. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shunter back here. Chicken and prawns. So I decided to use king prawns. You can just use normal prawns. You don't even have to have prawns in it. Anything that you don't like, don't put in. You can always substitute it with other things. That's the great thing about cooking in general and stuff like that. I'm not convinced about that wire wall. But again, we can remove it if needs be, but we'll just have to be careful and make sure everything cools down first. So that's for that. That can go out of the way. Coat the chicken prawns in the Cajun sauce, Cajun seasoning. So they're all labelled up as well. They've got a best before the end. You can use best before the end ages after. It's actually a thing, isn't it? So we need the Cajun seasoning on the chicken and some on the prawns. And we're going to start ourselves a little trash bag. I did bring some. Just like that. How are we doing? It's somewhat less volatile, but are we getting enough heat to actually be able to cook is the question. We'll just have to give it a go, won't we, and see what happens. So we're going to mix the Cajun chicken seasoning, mix it all around, make sure it's all got a bit on it. Same with the prawns. Yeah, I think we're good. Coat them, fry the chicken in the pan, cook until golden, then remove and set aside. Okay, I can do that. I can do anything. No. So there's a bit of heat on this. Let's see. Oh, we've got a hiss. It's definitely got heat. which is always a good thing when cooking. Kind of mandatory to have the heat. So this recipe uses chicken thighs, but you can use whatever chicken you can get your hands on, in all honesty. It doesn't really matter. Any chicken will do. Now, I bought the chicken thighs, and it was cheaper to have it with the bone, like considerably cheaper. So I weighed it up and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to learn how to debone it. And I went on YouTube as usual, slapped it in, and there you go. Dude shows you how to do it. Really small procedure, so to speak. Oh, crap. That's what you get from not holding your pan. It's really easy to do. And it saved me some money, I suppose. Again, I don't like this leaning over business, though. Like I say, when you've got a bit of a dad bod, it kind of gets in the way. But I can see it cooking around the outsides, which means it's working. It's cooking in the corners, which means, you know, it's actually working. So well done to New to Wild Camping on YouTube. I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. Using his theory and my theory that I should be able to then still use the tabs to bring the frying pan higher with the tent pegs. Now, if you're on a rocky surface, you wouldn't be able to do that. But there's always a way around it. You could find some sort of bolts that fit perfectly, if you get what I'm saying, and just have them affixed underneath, bolted on as and when you need them. There you go. That's more of a permanent solution, isn't it? I mean, it always sticks to the pan, but that's just how it goes. But it does cook quite evenly. It works! Magic. Now I need to pick this seed out of my drink. Yeah, man. It's going good. Okay, so in with the prawns. These don't take as long to cook, you see, so you put them in after. It says to remove the chicken and then cook the prawns, but no, I'm just going to do it all together. The chicken needs a little bit longer anyway, so we'll get it all going. I mean, it is still kicking out some heat, in all honesty. Oh shit, I've lost a prawn. I've lost a prawn. I refuse to waste a prawn. It's alright, we're outdoors. What's the worst that could happen? I'm definitely not wasting it. Whoop, whoop. That's a sound for the police. Next step is to cook the chorizo. So I might as well just lob it in now, isn't it? Wow. Get it all heated through. Now this is spicy chorizo. It's the one that I like, so You can buy milder ones with like less spice in, but I do like things hot. Oh, I didn't bring any chili sauce. Definitely meant to bring chili sauce just in case it wasn't spicy enough, but I do have some jalapenos to put on top anyway, so we should be okay. Oh, it's gone all sunny again. The ginger in me doesn't like it. I'm used to being in the woods. I just want to check what it looks like underneath. Oh, so it is coming through quite crazily, really, isn't it? But it is spread into the 3. Might put the simmer ring on and see how that does. Because look at that, that's crazy heat. Even with that, what's it, wire wool in there, it's still kicking out crazy, isn't it? I mean, that should have tamed it. Might have done a little bit. Possible. Just got to be careful with this because it's sodding hot. Let's pop that back on there. Just trying not to have a pan fire again, because that was not much fun. I couldn't even fry my eggs. Now, is it not kicking out enough heat? Or does it just need a chance to heat back up? Possibly should have the simmer ring open all the way. I've got it partly closed. Let's use this stick. Oh, that's actually a problem with having the, ouch, pegs on. Can't actually open the simmer ring. So let's remove one peg so that we can actually open the simmer ring more to the desired amount. Put the thing back on. It's going to dull it down. And put that back on. It's all theory, isn't it? You don't know how it's going to work until you give it a go in the field. Field testing. That seems to be working again. It's coming back through with some heat. It is a lot less heat. But it's heat enough for it to be hot. So it says to lay that all aside and then cook the veg. So let's put all that in here for now. Gonna have loads of flavour on the bottom of that. Pop that over there. A little bit more oil. I mean, I just eat that as it is, I would. All that meat. That's what I'm talking about. Then we're going to get our veggies. Chorizos in. Then it says add the garlic paste. That's the jambalaya stock. That is the garlic paste. Oh, I hate these things, you know. Where's my spoon? Yeah, that's the garlic paste, definitely. Get the garlic paste in there. Try not to stab myself with my spork. Got some on my foot. Get off. So it's also got salt in. I'll just splash myself with flaming garlic paste. Okay, let's get the veggies in. Might have to take that simmering off. What is occurring? So with the simmering on, it doesn't seem to cook at all. With it off, it seems to be too much. Let's wash that out of the way. Let's put this back on. It's all going wrong. Right, let's continue. I sent a homebrew beer, the same beer that I'm drinking at the moment, up to my stepson at his mum's house. And oh, here we go, look, Wasparoony. I'll spray you. I will spray you, go away. It's not for you, it's for me. Just messing with me now. I'll spray the son of a gun. Yeah, so the simmering doesn't seem to work greatly. In all honesty, not sure why. It seems to dull it down a little bit too much, to the point where you can't actually cook on it. But we've got the paste in. And we're just going to cook the veg through, which is celery, green peppers and onion. Get gone. A couple of train spotters at the top of the hill. Says he can smell cooking. So we're going to let that cook for a small amount of time. Then we'll mash it all together. We'll heat up some water and get some rice on the go. I would have definitely fixed those two lads a plate as well. The boy and his dad. If they wanted some. Definitely. I'm all for a bit of sharing. Sharing's caring. I mean, the onion's doing well. So it disperses well, but the simmering, just, I don't know what it is about the simmering. it just causes more problems than it solves. Maybe the simmering without the dispersal plate is the way forward. But it definitely works because we've got it cooking all the way around the outsides, which I've never seen before. Normally you have to constantly keep moving it from the into the hot spot and out of the hot spot. I mean, there is still obviously a hot spot, but it's enough to generate heat all the way around the pan. Oh, I've lost celery. I've lost celery. To be honest, I'm not bothered about the celery. The celery is not all that expensive. So next step was to boil the kettle. So let's take all of this and put it back in to there, bringing all that flavour with it. The dribbles of flavour. Get it all mixed back in together, and then we'll set this aside and get the water going. So you can do it with the, I'm going to call it the dispersal plate. Let's call it the plate. You can do it with the plate on there, but you can also do it without it if you wanted to drop it back down. So where's the markings on this? This is the one without markings. Is it? I think it is. It says 400 mil, so we'll just guess. See, I thought this was the bigger pan. In fact, let's not just guess, because I don't want to add too much and I don't want to add too little. So what I'm going to do is I'll take that off quickly. Put that down there for a sec. Now this one's got measurements. So this one's got so this one you can measure 500 mil. So if we do it just slightly below the 500 mil mark, it's actually just above the 500 mil mark. That, so we're about right. I can live with that. I want the bigger pan because we've got a lot of stuff to go in this. So let's get that back on the flame. It's not 100% stable there, but it's stable enough, I'd say. Stable enough. So that's going to come up to the boil. That's all of our empty pots. The only thing that we have left to add is the rice. Once this is boiled, add the rice and 400 ml of boiling water and the jambalaya stock to the pan. Okay. So we'll tip that into the water once it's boiled, then add the rice and mix. I believe that's what it says. I mean, I love this shit. I do. I absolutely love it. And I love people's reaction when I tell them that I do it as well. My mum thinks I'm bonkers. But it's just, you know, it's finding your own little bit of calm, your own bit of time, so to speak. In a mad world, everything's just so fast paced. Nice to just come and relax. Beer's nearly gone. I did want to save some for this when it was cooked. Is this the one where the lid fits? No, it's not. It is not the one that the lid fits onto. So we might very well have to lob it all into the other one if it's going to fit. If not, we'll have to use the fry pan as a lid. Turn it upside down. Be alright, won't it? Oh, I can't help myself, I just got to. That's so good. Like I say, I've got some bits and bobs to garnish it with. Gherkins, jalapenos and spring onions. I'm quite impressed. Oh, these bloody pots are a nightmare. Look at this. It's not going good, Simply Cook. It's not Simply Cook, it's flipping try and open the bloody packaging without stabbing yourself with a spoon. You ever played knifey spoony? So this is the stock pot, which I'm going to put into the water and then rinse with some of the water because we want all of that flavour. Oh, it smells gorgeous now. It smells good enough to drink. Right. Now it says for the rice and the water, and then add everything else back into it, and then to cover. So let's do that. Rice is in. Let's quickly mix the rice in, actually. That'd be a good idea. And then let's get all the yumminess in there. Like so. Then it says mix it all up. And what it does is it cooks the rice inside the pan while everything else is chilling with it. Again, it's cooking, it is dispersing the heat really well around the outside here as well. Now I do need to put the simmer ring on. I need to take this pot off a second. It is a bit of a faff with all the, you know, this bit. It can be a bit of a faff, but I think it's worth it. Let's get the simmer ring on. So back on with the plate. Because that was working really well. Oh, it's actually burning. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how to describe that. I shall show you when we are finished. Because for now, I need it to be cooking this. Oh, it looks magnificent. Can't tell you how good it looks, guys. Well, I think magnificent pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? The Warburton's wrapper over there, so someone's had a barbecue here. There is a bit of a fire pit further down there as well. Some glass bottles which we're going to take away with us. I'm hoping that that is going to give that enough. What's the word? So I'm contemplating now, can I put it all in there? Can I? Because I need the lid really. Yeah, just. Because I want the lid on so that it keeps all the moisture in and carries on cooking the rice. Because if it evaporates through steam, it ain't going to be cooking the rice, is it? And then we're going to have uncooked rice at the end of it. And let's face it, no one likes uncooked rice. do need to develop a way to have that plate on where I don't need to be hunched over, where I can do it on the table. Alright, let's let that come to a boil, and while it does, I'll show you around. So it took a while, but it has come up to the boil now, slightly. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, there we go, yeah. It's better than it was when I looked a second ago. Let's give it a bit of a mix up. Don't want anything stuck to the bottom. Want it all nicely mixed, congealed together. And looking at this, this is going to be a 2 people portion, you know, because there is a lot of it. I mean, I can eat, but I never overeat unless it's Chinese food, and then I pile my plate up so flipping high to the point where I have to wobble out of the room. You know, it gives you your typical values per kit as well. Like, so if you need to know what carbohydrates are or things like that, or how much salt's in it, yeah, just tidy as we go. I'm gonna pop the lid back on, and we'll be back shortly to see what's crack-a-lacking. It's a bubbling. It's a bubbling. Possibly a bit too much, and that's with the damn simmer ring on. There's no actual way I can reduce the heat anymore. It's warped it. It's burnt it out in one place. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure that the aluminium one was the one. Definitely needs a piece of steel raised up with lots of holes. I think that's the winning formula. I am going to tag in New to Wild Camping, because I think he'd quite like the idea of the tent pegs, maybe raising it up so that you can have that airflow for the fry pan. It's not much of a modification, as in like I've, you know, drilled holes inside or added anything like that, but I think the bolts through the bottom, I think that's a good idea that I am going to look into, just to hold it sturdy. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's thickening up nicely. It's ever so slightly uneven, this. There's a bit of a slant going down to this way. I mean, it's got a good kick, that chorizo. Really has. I don't think we need it covered. I think we can leave this uncovered. Riley. It does say on there, tip, don't disturb the rice. The crunchy part on the bottom is the best bit. No thanks, I don't want crunchy rice. You know? You do you. If you get this kit using my code for the freebie, then thank you very much, because I'll then get some free. Righty dokie, we are just about done, you know. This is looking absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I think that's done. Yeah, I'm going to call that done. Oops. Kind of need that. Let's pop that on there for now. Get it off the heat and get this simmering and the other flop thing off, wherever that went there. As you can see, it's kind of mashed it in here. It's like burnt it away. I'm not sure aluminium is the best for that purpose, but it worked, and I'll use it again if I don't have anything else to use as well. I'm going to remove the other temp pegs, put them over there to cool down. I'm not putting them on the grass because they're very hot, he says as he drops one on the grass. Now we can control this simmering and turn it off. Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? So flames off. All sorted on that front. Let's just move that forward a wee bit out of my way. And there we have it. A pot of jambalaya. Let's get some spooned into here and let's get eating. Because after watching that cook for so long, I am ready. So I'm going to go for about half-ish. Now there's still plenty in there. Definitely another portion. So let's just have one more. And that is the money shot. Right there. I've left it running while I taste this because I want the reaction cam on how good it is, because I won't Barry bullshit. If it tastes like ass, I'll tell you. Now, I don't remember there being celery in the one that I used to eat. I mean, it was a ready meal, but, you know, just bang it in the microwave. But it does work well with the celery. I forgot my garnish. Lovely jubbly. Now I've got to take the money shot picture again. Right, and now all we do is we eat. I'll put that back down there now. It was just for the money shot. That's cooling down nicely. Everything's out. There's no more flame. All there is left to do is try it. I've already tried it, but I'm going to try it again with the garnish. Again, I don't remember it having the celery in it last time. It probably did, but good. It is definitely good. Definitely needs the jalapenos. And me personally, I'd put some hot sauce in it. I normally have one clipped to my bag. It's got a carabiner with a pot of hot sauce on. But yeah, really good. Full of flavour. Hearty. I mean, mine doesn't look much like that picture that's been photoshopped, but it's flipping good. Yeah, Jambalaya. Can't wait for the next one. It's bloody hot. But that's what you want, isn't it? Hot grub. The heat comes through a little bit more the more you eat of it. But for me, even with the jalapenos that I've added, I'd probably put a diced chili in there. But good, yeah. I'd give that a solid 8 out of 10. If it was more spicy, like I remember it being, it'd probably been a 10. But you can get yourself one of these pot things. Go cook it yourself. See what you think. Let me know what you think. If you do, if you do use my code, drop a thumbs up in the comments so I know who's used it using my link. Like I say, I get one as well. And if you do it in September, I saw something on the app earlier on. It enters you into a draw to win £1,000 voucher automatically. All you got to do is use my code, which will be in the description, and in the comments pinned. I'm going to demolish this. I'm going to speed it up because I haven't sped much up and my phone's dying, so I need to quickly put it on charge. But yeah, fantastic. Definitely 2 portions there. Definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I can eat, but yeah, definitely 2 portions. Right, speed this up. So this is the place where I've just been. As you can see, nothing of mine left behind at all. Just a bit of trampled grass, which will grow back. And now we're going to get the outro done. Found a lighter. Diving sheep, apparently. It's a good lighter, clipper lighter. Gas in it. Mine now. I have found a secret apple tree. Not ready yet, but when they are, we'll be having some cider off them. So we filled 2 bags. It split at the bottom a bit because I tried to force something in, which didn't really work. There wasn't a great deal of rubbish down there, to be honest, which is good. A couple of cans of pop, 1 full can of pop. I found a lighter, which is always a result. And yeah, we're going to head on down that way and create a loop out of this and back towards where we were the other day.